everyone. Welcome to our next video that is all about technology in the classroom. This relates to your topic 3 assignment, where you're going to be presenting some different technology that you can use and some pros and cons for using them in the classroom. So as you complete your assignment, this is a great resource for you. So let's get started. All right, so what does technology encompass? When I say technology in the classroom, we think about two different types of technology. It is the technology that you, as the teacher, use to deliver your instruction so that the students have some engagement when they're learning from you. So that can be if you have seen teachers use a smart board where they can manipulate things by touching the screen or write on the screen. It could be if you show YouTube videos or any sort of PowerPoint presentations that you create to deliver instruction to your students. That's the technology that you are using. Then we have technology that the students use, and they don't usually use this technology while they're learning from you. It's very much a time for them to practice and to show learning, or for your students who need a little bit of a challenge. So teacher technology use usually happens during the instruction when you are teaching them the skill or you're teaching them the content. And then the student technology comes in at the end when they're ready to practice what you have taught them. Okay, and we're going to focus today on the student technology. Okay, so some tips for using technology. I have 4 tips for you here that we're going to go deeper into. And the first tip is to know your students. When you're thinking about what technology you want students to be using, you need to think about their age and their maturity level. So if you have a first grade student, you may not want to use a piece of technology that requires them to do a lot. They will have a hard time doing it. Thinking again about maturity. You may think, oh, I have 7th graders, they can use technology. You need to consider the maturity level of those students. They may be able to physically use a mouse, a keyboard, and do what you want them to do, but can they do that responsibly? So that's definitely something you want to consider. You want to consider the experience level of your students. Have they used a computer before? A lot of the times we think, yeah, like kids use technology all the time. Well, kids use smartphones a lot. They use tablets a lot, but kids don't really use a mouse and a keyboard a lot. So if you have younger students or students who have never experienced using technology, you're going to have to teach them how to do that. And using a mouse and manipulating it to move the mouse on the screen, that's hard for students. They're going to need the practice to get that down. If they're new to using technology and they have a hard time remembering their student ID and their password to get into the school technology, you're going to want to think about that as well. And then think about the benefits of using technology or not using technology. So we've really found we like to use technology. It makes students really engaged, but if for a certain lesson, it is just more work to use the technology than to not use the technology, and the students can still get the same amount of learning without it, you might want to think about that too. Maybe you don't use technology for this lesson, but you might plan it for another one. Okay, the next step or the next tip is to plan your implementation. So if you know, okay, I have this really great website that I want the students to be able to use, you need to plan it. So start with a simple rollout. Don't do anything really difficult to start. So if you know, okay, at the end of the week, I want my students to be able to do this website, think then, how can I introduce this website to my students? So can you pull it up on the board and maybe use the website as a whole class first? Then the students can move to using this website on their own. You need to use or you need to teach how to use each part of the tool. So just like I said, you might need to teach students how to use a mouse. You might need to teach them how to save a document or to name a document or to print a document if that's what you want them to do. So basically, you need to think, my students probably don't know how to do any of this, so how can I teach them how to do it? And then use technology for fun first. So if you want to have the students typing up these really great essays that you had them write, and printing them out, and you're really excited because it's going to look awesome. They're going to have this really formal paper that they work so hard on. Don't let that be the first time they use a Word document. You could say, okay, I want everyone to open up a Word document and you have 10 minutes to just play around with it. Use funny fonts, use different colors, different sizes, add clip art. Let them have fun with the technology as a way to kind of experience it and experiment with it before you have them use it for learning. That way they work out some of the barriers that they might face, and they're not facing those barriers during the activity you really want them to be doing. They're facing it in a fun, more carefree environment as well. Okay, next you need to have clear rules and expectations, and you need to teach them to the students. And that's every single little thing. You might not think about it, but if you have a cart full of laptops, you need to teach the students, how do you get to the cart? We walk to the cart. We carefully unplug our laptop that is charging. If you don't teach them that, they might just yank it off the charger and break it. You may want to use some tips like numbering the laptops. And so you know which student is using which laptop. That way, if something is broken on the laptop, you know who used it last. And you want to practice with the students and really stick to your rules. We really want the students to use technology, but if they show us time and time and time again that they can't handle it, they're not mature enough to use it, you need to stick to your rules and you take away from that student until they can earn it back. So on the board, you can see some examples of what some technology rules and expectations might look like. These may feel like us to common sense, but you do have to teach it to students because schools don't get a lot of money for technology all the time. And you may have 30 Chromebooks, and if one of them breaks, you're not getting another one. So really teach your students how you want them using the technology. Okay, next is work smarter, not harder. There are so many teachers out there who use educational technology in the most amazing way, more than I feel like I could ever tell you because they are the experts. They have great Instagram channels, YouTube channels, blogs. Follow them, see what types of activities they do with their students, and don't recreate the wheel. If you're thinking, okay, I'm looking for this website and I want them to be able to practice XYZ, Google it, see if there's something out there. Don't spend too much time looking for something. And some websites and programs will have pre-made lessons and activities. So you could just say, hey, head to a website like Khan Academy, which I'll show you later, and click on first grade, and there's everything you get to do. Don't create worksheets, don't create activities if they're there, as long as they align to what you want the students to be doing. Okay, so we're going to go over a few of my favorite technologies to use in the classroom, but I want you to know that there are so many out there. We've seen them all in your DQs for this topic. There's so many out there that can be used for so many different things. So technology is always changing. Just keep up with it. Follow a few people on Instagram who might be really great with technology. Follow the GCU COE Ed Tech Club on Instagram. Our full-time faculty member, Amanda Arrington, she runs that, and she always has all these amazing stories and posts about different technologies that can be used in the classroom, technologies I've never even heard of before. So just keep on top of it and use it in your classroom. Okay, so first is Class Dojo. I know we're focusing on student technology, but I did want to share this teacher technology. That's a really great one. This is a classroom management tool. It's a free website, which is really great. We love free. You make a class and you put all of your students here on the class, and you can let them choose their monsters or they get automatically assigned. And then you can add different types of behaviors that you do want to see and you don't want to see. And when a student is doing something really great, you can click on their name and it pops up a menu where you can choose the behavior that they're doing. You click on the behavior, it goes to ding, and their name shows up at the bottom of the website here. And then the green bubble with the numbers goes up as they get more points for good behavior. And then if they're doing something that you don't want them to be doing, you click on their name, you click on the behavior they should not be doing, it goes to ding, and it shows up another number in the red circle. What's really great about this, students love it. They like to earn those points. You can get it on your phone. So you could have this website showing on your smartboard or on your projector, and then you could be walking around the classroom watching the students, giving them points on your phone. You don't even need to be by your computer to do it. Parents can sign up for a parent view of this website so they can see just their student, and then they can see this report here on the right where they can see what are their students earning points for, what are they losing them for. There's also a place to have messages to students and their parents about their behavior. So a really great all-in-one stuff. Okay, next is Padlet. Padlet is basically like a big poster board that students can add to. They can create little, almost like, looks like little sticky notes that they can put on the Padlet. You can use it for anything. So you can see this example is for a morning meeting. You probably have instructors using Padlets in their classes with you because they're really great. You can pose a question and students can head on in there with a link. They type their answer, they can add GIFs to it, images, all that fun stuff. So that's a really good one. Also free. Okay, next we have Nearpod. Nearpod is basically like a fancy PowerPoint that is hosted on this Nearpod website. You can add videos to it. You can add activities where students do quizzes, almost like Kahoot. And then you can also link to other things like Padlet. So you could link to a Padlet from Nearpod. What's really great about Nearpod is you can do it live with the students, but they can also access it later. This Nearpod, it is free to a certain point. There are some attributes of the website that are behind a paywall, so you can still use it. And if it's something you want to invest your money in, that is available to you, but you also don't have to. You can still use it without paying. I do not pay. Okay, and then of course, Kahoot, you all know and love Kahoot. I'm sure many of you have played it. It's a great way to practice concepts in a fun way. Yeah, I feel like that's all we need to say about Kahoot. You guys love it. Okay, and then Khan Academy is really great for student practice. So if you have students who need to practice a skill, you can head on over to Khan Academy. They can choose something to practice. You can also have students use Khan Academy who need a little bit more of enrichment to be pushed a little harder, and they can access some lessons for higher grade levels depending on whatever they need. And then last is Google Suites. You can have students write in Google Docs, make PowerPoints and Google Slides. They can send them to you. You have ease of access. They can share documents and make PowerPoints and write documents together. I love, love, love the Google Suites, and they're free. And then it hooks up into Google Classroom. Google Classroom is a free class website that you can make, and you can put all of your assignments on there. You can put links for students to play games and practice fun things at home. Love, 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 love it. So look into Google Classroom. A lot of schools use it. Okay, that is the end of our presentation. Like I said, there's so much technology out there, so just keep yourself informed of what's out there and use it in your classroom as appropriate. Don't feel like you need to use technology in every single lesson, but use it as the students are ready to practice what you've been teaching them. If you've got an extra 15 minutes, a lesson ended early, all right, get the Chromebooks out. Let's all go to Khan Academy and practice this math concept. All right, see you later.